Welcome to Karl Woodcraft. Today we're going to be taking a look at the Axminster AP330ST portable thickness planer. I've had this machine in my possession now for over 6 months and it's gone through extensive use, so I think I'm in a really good position to give you a review. A little bit of background on me then. I'm a professional cabinet maker based in Hull. I've owned quite a few thicknessers over the years. At the moment I'm using a DeWalt thicknesser and I'm also using this model here. Before this I had a Shapak thicknesser. I've also had the Pro Range thicknesser, Titan planer thicknesser in my small workshop in the garden. Also use more industrial commercial thicknessers as well. Why have I chose a standalone thicknesser rather than a planer thicknesser? I just don't like the change between a planer to thicknesser mode and the faff that you get with it. It's as simple as that. I'd rather have a standalone thicknesser and a standalone surface planer rather than a combo machine. Also, I think if you can only afford one of the two, then a thicknesser would be the one that I'd choose, because you can, using certain jigs, square your timber up in your thicknesser as well, using your table saw and your thicknesser combination. Price direct from the Axminster website is £699, so just under £700. It's quite a premium tool then at that price. So what do we expect to get for our money in that price range? What we'll do is we'll take a look at the spec and some of the features that the machine has to offer. Setup out the box is nice and simple. All you need to do is put a spirit level across the infeed and the outfeed table and get them level with the internal bed. Simply adjust the bolts on the left and right until the bed is level with the internal components, and then lock this nut tight so nothing moves. Simple as that. Feed rate on this machine is 8 meters per minute. Also, one thing to note on this machine is that the feed rollers are actually really strong. So on all the other machines that I've ever owned in the workshop, I've had to either push the timber in or pull it out and assist it on some of the heavier woods like oak. However, with this machine, I've not had to assist it at all once on any of the different types of wood. Everything is fed through the machine with ease. It runs on 1.8 kilowatts of power and the cutter speed is 10,000 revolutions per minute. Maximum thickness capacity is 152 millimeters. That just means the maximum size piece of timber that we can fit in here is 152 millimeters, and dimensions for the width capacity is 330 millimeters, about 13.5 inches. So it's got a decent capacity and it's not something that I have managed to max out yet. Measuring at approximately 860 millimeters, we've got quite a large capacity for the infeed and the outfeed. Not only does this make it easier to feed the timber in and out of the machine, giving you that extra support, it also helps to prevent snipe. Weighing in at a whopping 38 kilos, it's not a light machine. There's pros and cons to that. It doesn't vibrate around if you've got it onto your table. It's a heavy, solid machine that's not going to move about. However, moving the machine from the floor to a workbench could be quite difficult depending on your mobility. You've got 2 handles at the top here and 2 handles at the bottom here for carrying it and lifting the machine. But my advice is put the machine where you want it and leave it there. It is classed as a portable machine, but it's not something that I'd be wanting to carry around. What's so different about this thicknesser than most of the other ones that you come across in small workshops? Most thicknessers have 2 cutter blades. This one has 26 double-edged HSS spiral cutters. These can be interchanged or swapped out when either damaged or when they're blunt, or you can spin them round to the next edge and then they're ready to go. On the dust port, you can either attach a 100mm or a 63mm dust extraction hose. I'm using a record power dust extractor, and so far I reckon I'm taking up about 90-95% of the chippings, so I think I need an extractor with a little bit more power, because the rate that you can remove material on this machine is probably outdoing the power of my dust extractor. Here's the class of my dust extractor and it's a 550 watts, so I probably need a 1 horsepower machine to be able to keep up with the rate of material removed on the thicknesser. Now let's take a look at some of the features that the machine has to offer. This machine actually has the most features that I've ever seen on any thicknesser before. This is one of my favourite features of the machine. You can simply select one of the common timber sizes. We have 3, 6, 12, 19, 25, 30, 38 and 44 millimeters. So say I want all my timber to come out of the machine at 30 millimeters, I simply select that. As I wind down the machine, when we eventually get to the 30 millimeters, the machine will no longer let me wind down. So every piece of timber that we then put through the machine will come out at exactly 30mm. Just above the common timber sizes, we have the height adjustment wheel. And one thing I find a little bit unusual about this is 1 turn equals 1/16 of an inch, and 1/4 turn equals 1/64 of an inch, and so on around the wheel. So that's all in imperial. Not that it matters too much, but basically a 1 small turn at a time. Just above the height adjustment wheel, we have the snipe lock, which is an excellent feature. All you simply have to do is pull the lever across. That will reduce any snipe that can be caused by the cutter head moving. And on this machine, I've literally had next to no snipe whatsoever. Looking at the front of the machine, we have some common features such as this scale here, and this is adjustable so you can dial it in to get it accurate. This isn't something that I use overly often. Next to there, we've got access to the bushes. We've got the on and off switch. We've got the circuit breaker. This is used in case the machine overheats, not something that this machine has done to me so far. And then down at the front here, we've got the depth scale. This is going to tell us how much material we're moving at a time, and I'll show you how to use that now. Directly below this arrow here, we've got a small ball bearing, which as I press it, you can see the scale move up and down. All you simply do is place that piece of timber under that ball bearing, wind the machine down, and as you can see on the scale there, the little arrow is moving to 0.5 of a millimetre. Wind it down a little bit more, and we've gone to 1 millimetre, 2 millimetres, all the way to 3.2 millimetres, and that's the maximum depth of cut you can do in one go. If I remove the piece of timber, it drops back down, and now I can slide it back into that ball bearing, and it goes back up to 3.2 millimetres. It also gives you the reading in imperial. Changing one of the cutters is simple. You've got a small compartment on the side of the machine with your Allen keys in there, so you just remove those. And then using one of the Allen keys, there's two Allen key bolts that you remove on top of the dust extraction unit. One on the left and one on the right. And lift that off. And that gives you access directly to the cutters. Using the second Allen key provided, simply undo the cutter like so, either replace it or rotate it to its next position and then tighten it back up. Simple as that to change or replace a cutter. Place the dust hood back into position, fastening the two Allen key bolts back up. 3 pieces of timber so I can show you the quality of the finish. We've got some CLS, we've got some oak, and we've also got some African icky wood, which is really hard and dense. Before we do that though, I just want to say I purchased this machine with my own money, so this is an honest review. Also, one thing that we haven't covered is the volume. Obviously you're going to need ear defenders. The machine is loud. All thicknesses are loud. If you're using a table saw or miter saw or a thicknesser in your workshop, neighbours are something that you might want to consider, but I'm always wearing ear defenders, so the volume doesn't really matter to me, but like I say, loud machine. A quick and simple demonstration of how the machine performed there. We put the CLS through first, went through with ease, obviously it was going to do that. The oak we did next, and this is oak worktop, so you can see it's several pieces laminated together with the grain going in different directions, and it still did it with ease. And then lastly, the African icky wood, which is super hard and dense. Tried on several occasions to put this through thicknesses in the past, and they've all struggled with it, so we've not done it. Them blades have been in there over 6 months and they've still left a great finish with no tear out on there whatsoever, and we've definitely never been able to do that before. So if you imagine when them blades are fresh and new, it's going to be an even better finish. So my overall thoughts on the machine is it's a great machine, well worth the money if it's within budget. Helical head type thicknesses are definitely the next generation of thicknesser, another way forward. If anyone's got any questions at all, hopefully we covered just about everything in there, but pop them in the comments and I'll do my best to answer you. I'll see you on the next video, guys. Thanks and bye.